Welcome to Cardboard Chemistry. I'm your host, MTG Labman, and today I want to go over some of the cards that were spoiled during MagicCon Vegas for the upcoming sets. We're going to start with The Hobbit, and then do a different episode for Marvel superheroes, and then another episode for what we've seen for Reality Fracture. So, starting with The Hobbit, we're going to start with An Unexpected Party. Two colorless and two white, so 4 mana value enchantment with, as this enchantment enters, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +2/+2. It does have an adventure sorcery attached to it. That adventure sorcery is called At the Door. X, 2 and a white. Create X 2/2 red dwarf creature tokens. So to create one dwarf, it will cost you 4 mana. And then if you want to create two, it costs 5, and so on and so forth. Overall, uh, it is an anthem, right? If you don't even look at the adventure side, you have choose a creature type. Creatures you control get +2/+2 of that type. So nice little anthem for 4 mana. I think it's a little overcosted for the mana value, especially the two white pips is a bit restrictive. Um, I like the nod to the Hobbit, right? This is when Thorin and the rest of the dwarves show up to Bilbo's house, unexpected party, and then at the door referencing when the dwarves arrive. Um, they don't all arrive at once. They keep on showing up in pairs or single until Thorin finally shows up last to Bilbo's house. Um, you know, in Commander, right, I could see this being run on a Changeling deck. Um, as for Limited and Standard, I don't think seeing this in those formats is going to be a big thing because, like I said, if you're drafting and you're not drafting a similar creature type, then you're only kind of buffing one creature. Um, so definitely a commander card. Moving on to Bilbo Luckwearer, one colorless and a blue for a legendary creature halfling rogue, a 1/1 uncommon. Uh, Bilbo can't be blocked, and then whenever Bilbo deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. So he does allow you to loot. Um, and then he does have an adventure attached to him, Burglar's Plot, 4 colorless and a blue. Exchange control of 2 target non-land permanents that share a card type. So right, it allows you to swap things. He can't be blocked, so this is kind of alluding to Bilbo wearing the Ring of Power. Um, Turns invisible, can't be blocked. Uh, Nice uncommon. I don't, it is legendary. It's a legendary uncommon blocker or unblockable creature. So I could see that getting a little bit of play, get through on your opponents. Um, but it is in blue, so they have changed the coloring of Bilbo, right? I think actually there was a blue Bilbo in the Lord of the Rings set, but the 111th birthday Bilbo was Abzan, so different, but still seems to work. Uh, Moving on, we have another Bilbo, Bilbo Thief in the Night, one colorless and one blue for a legendary creature halfling rogue, 2/2. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost one less to cast. And then whenever Bilbo attacks, you may cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell from your graveyard. If an instant or sorcery spell was cast this way, you put would be put into your graveyard, you exile it instead. So allows you to recast things. Is a mana reduction for any spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand. So if you plot a card, if you airbend a card, uh, if you exile a card, um, so even if you have spells with flashback and you cast them from your graveyard, reduces all of that. Definitely going to see playing Commander for like lessons and exile decks. It even reduces the cost of your commander by one. If you have Bilbo on the battlefield and he's not your commander in the deck. So uh, really interesting there. I could see it running standard with with flashback coming from Secrets of Strixhaven, with Earth or with Airbend, with Avatar, because that will still be in standard rotation when the Hobbit comes out, and it definitely a pretty powerful card. Uh, Moving on, we have my precious three colorless legendary artifact equipment. Uh, Equipped creature has hexproof and can't be blocked. Equip, pay 2 and pay 2 life, so you got to pay 2 and pay 2 life to equip this to a creature. Um, and then it has an adventure attached to it, Allure of Power. It's an instant. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you sacrifice a creature and you draw 2 cards. Um, right, this is. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Yes, it is rare. It gives your creature hexproof and can't be blocked. It is 3. The equip cost is 2 and 2 life. And so uh, definitely can give your commander protection. I don't see this maybe being run so much in standard or limited formats because, right, yeah, you can equip it, but you're dealing with 20 life there, paying 2 life to equip this, and it potentially getting destroyed is reducing your life total. So probably more of a commander staple as another piece of protection for your commander. Moving on to Riddles in the Dark, referencing Bilbo's confrontation with Gollum in under the Goblin City. Um, it's a 2 colorless, 1 blue instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library and separate them into a face down pile and a face up pile. An opponent chooses one of the piles, put the pile or put that pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Right, so another separate into piles. You get the pile that your opponent picked, and then the other pile gets put into your graveyard. Same thing applies with all of the cards that do this kind of thing. Um, Not sure how much play it's going to see. I mean, it is an instant. Um, you know, might be good in limited and standard. Uh, for Commander, right? You have the Celestial Toymaker. This is if you run that deck where it's um, every time you have opponent choose and sort things, it deals damage. I think this is going to be another shoe-in for that card. Moving on, we have Smog the Magnificent. 2 colorless, 2 red for a legendary creature dragon. It's a 4/3 with flying and haste. Whenever Smog attacks, he deals damage equal to the number of treasures you control to any target. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, create a treasure token. Smog is mythic rare. I I can see why they've made him mythic rare. This is actually a really powerful ability. Flying haste. On attack, he creates a treasure token, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, he creates a treasure token, and then when he attacks, or not when he attacks, he creates a treasure token. Whenever he attacks, he deals damage equal to the number of treasure tokens you control to any target. So red mono red treasures, dragon decks with Old Gnawbone or Miram, right? You start stocking up treasures. Uh, you can swing hit face uh, in standard, in limited, or more so in standard. With Secrets of Strixhaven, you now have the creature that when you cast it, it comes in prepared. You can pay 1 to use its spell to create a treasure token. Find other ways to create treasure tokens. Drop Smog turn 4 or earlier. Uh, I could easily see this getting you having two or three treasures before you drop Smog. You drop Smog, you swing in. It's a 4/3 flying, so it's already evasive, and then you could deal another 3 damage to someone's face, even if it only survives that turn. Uh, pretty Seems pretty powerful. Uh, yes, it does die to like a lightning bolt or something that deals 3 damage to a creature. I think that's a good way to reel it in for, standard or limited. It's not this giant obstacle that you can't handle, but you do need to have your deck capable of doing so. But definitely for Dragon decks and Commander is probably going to be an add-in, and even Treasure decks, because you swing in, you deal damage, like a J. Jonah Jameson or Jolene the Plunderer Queen. I can definitely see running this card as well. Moving on, we have the Arkenstone, 5 colorless legendary artifact. Creatures you control get +1/+1, so Universal Anthem. And at the beginning of your end step, draw a card, so basically kind of gives you Monarchy, the Monarch as well. And then has an adventure, Seek the Heart, 2 colorless and a white for a sorcery. Search your library for a legendary creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. So, like a Time of Need effect on the card. It's a 5 mana value. Get an extra card each of your end steps, and Anthem. It's okay. 5 mana seems steep for that effect, especially with Rhystic Study running around in Commander and Esper Sentinel and ways to draw you more and more cards, versus just getting one extra card a turn seems kind of slow. Moving on, we have Thorin Mountain King, 3 colorless and a red for a legendary creature, Dwarf Noble with Trample. When Thorin enters, attach any number of target equipment you control to target creature you control. When one or more equipment become attached to that creature this way, that creature deals damage equal to its power to up to one target creature. Pretty interesting. If you're running an equipment deck, you could drop Thorin in. The fact that it's only 2 creatures kind of limits it, right? Uh, you have equipment that auto attach when they come in, or if you can find a way to equip equipment. And even Thorin does auto attach any number of equipment when he enters. Uh, a nice combat trick, but it's sorcery speed, right? It would have been nice to have Thorin have flash or something where you could flash him in, attach the equipment, and then deal damage and use them for removal, right? It's limited to creatures, so you can't target planeswalkers, you can't target your opponents. Um, Want to see how equipment heavy the Hobbit set will be before I really make a call on that card. And then finally we have Tom, Bert, and William, 3 colorless, black and a green, right? These are the trolls from the Hobbit. For a legendary creature troll, 5/5. Pay 1, sacrifice another creature, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power, then discard a card. So, really good sack outlet. Pay 1, sack a big creature that has a downside, right? I'm thinking like a Get Rog Ravenous Ride or something like that, where you're looking to sacrifice things, kind of a backup option to that commander. And then it has when Tom, Bert, and William die, if they were a creature, you return them to the battlefield. They're an artifact. They're no longer a creature. So this is alluding to when the sun comes out, or when Gandalf comes, and the trolls turn to stone, right? They turn into an artifact. They're no longer creatures. Pretty interesting card. Nice to brew around the. I'm thinking of, like I said, Get Rog Ravenous Ride. You drop like a Rotting Regisaur, that's a 7/6. You pay 1, you sacrifice that, you draw 7 cards, and then you discard a card. So nice benefit there. And then the last card that was shown is Wood Elves, 2 colorless and a green for the Elf Scout, and that's the same as any other printing of Wood Elves. When this creature enters, search your library for a forest card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. And that's the reprint we see in The Hobbit. That being said, that's the end of the Hobbit cards that were spoiled during MagicCon Vegas. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you're looking forward to for the upcoming Hobbit set. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.